Morning, Jeff Williams. Today I'm doing a quick video regarding my pretty dark period in my life. When I found out I got cancer of the throat, it was quite severe and not good. I've been having some problems with my ears and my throat at the time. I've been to the doctor several times, had antibiotics and one thing and another. And then I went up one day after being nagged to death by Jen to go. I'm quite reluctant to go, to be honest with you. We were in the middle of the Al Blackman campaign and, it was starting to move in the right direction. So I didn't really want to go, but I went anyway, and I got up to the doctors. And my normal doctor wasn't there. There was a guy, a local doctor, a sort of temporary doctor from Sri Lanka. And I remember he was only a small guy, and I goes in there, and he was really pleasant, a lovely bloke. He said, "Well, what's the matter?" I said, "I've got a little lump on my neck here." I said, "I keep getting throat infections, I keep getting ear infections. Could you have a look?" He said, "Oh yeah, no problem." So he opened my mouth, I put the old spatula thing in, and he lifted it down. Looks in the back of my throat, and I was looking at his eyes, and he was like staring, and I thought, "Oh, that don't look good." Trying to thinking. Anyway, he put it down, and then he went in again. He had another look, and he went, "I don't like the look of that." And he was really straight with me. He just said, "I think you've got cancer in the throat there, mate." He said, "You need to get it seen to straight away." So the word cancer just hits you straight between the eyes. No matter how mentally strong you are or whatever, it's like, it's the unknown. It's terminal in a lot of cases. So I looked at him and I thought, "Oh, for God's sake, I can't believe this." So I sat in the car afterwards and I phoned Jen. I said, "Look, Jen, it ain't good news." I said, "He thinks I've got throat cancer." So I contacted work. I had a private medical insurance, thank goodness. And they said, "Right, okay, well, use the insurance." So I managed to get a scan within, and then a specialist within about 3 days, which was really lucky. And I goes down, and I remember that as well. That was just really, really traumatic. I mean, me and Jim went down. We sat in this little room, and the guy comes over, very matter of fact about stuff, and he said, "Let me have a look." And he put this thing down my throat, and he went, "Yeah, that's cancer, definitely." And me and Jen just looked at each other, and she burst out crying. I got quite choked myself, to be honest with you. I didn't like seeing her cry. And it was a few seconds, like there is now. It was like a delay, and I just said to him, "Well, what are we going to do about it then?" And he said, I need to get you to see, you need to have some tests. We need to establish if it's fast growing, the size of it, blah, blah, blah. A few scans and one thing and another. And again, within a couple of days, that was sorted, and then it was established it was pretty bad. And I remember him sort of saying 70-30, I think he said, chance of survival, 30 being the positive figure. I said, "I'll take that. I'll take that." So me and Jen agreed we wouldn't tell anybody. We'll just leave it quiet. We didn't want to detract from the Al Blackman campaign yet. Well, I didn't want to. That wasn't Jen's focus. Her focus was, let's just keep it in the family. And it was a horrendous time. The whole world just come collapsing around the both of us. And I said to her, "Look, Jen, don't worry about it. If it's humanly possible to get through this, I will. I'm not ready to go yet." And so it was really sad. But I think what upset me more than anything else was the fact that I was hurting her. She was absolutely broken, but so strong. And she supported me through the whole thing. And before I knew what I was, they went away. They said, "Look, we've got to put a treatment plan together, and I had Macmillan coming, worried about me losing my hair and stuff like that, and it's not funny. There we go. So after that, I just kept thinking to myself, I can't see it happening. Whatever it is, we'll be okay. And then the treatment began. And again, I still did my old Blackman stuff. I was still going out yomping. I mean, the treatment was horrendous. It was radiotherapy every day for 6 weeks. And it was Monday to Friday, actually. I had a mask fitted, which again was traumatic. They put this mask on your face and they press it against your face, and it comes over your shoulders, got all little holes in it, and it's got like studs all the way around, and like they pin you to the board that you get put in the machine that radiates you. And again, that was just horrendous. And I weren't in there for very long, to be honest with you, but I used to just completely focus on just getting through it. And I was being fed through the nose because it was all in the throat, and I had these bloody milkshakes called Fortisips or whatever it was, and they were absolutely bloody horrendous. And to have a test tube on top of my head type thing, and it used to feed through the tube, but I couldn't cope with the tube. And if I had had a bit more time and had my time again, I probably would have had something stuck into my stomach, because I just kept being sick and sick and then sick again, and I just wasn't keeping anything down. The weight started dropping off me like it was going out of fashion. And then I was in hospital anyway, and in the end, because I was getting so weak and stuff like that, I'd lost about 3 or 4 stone or whatever it was, which I needed to lose. And Tess come to see me in the hospital, and I think he was pretty shocked. And certainly everybody that came around to visit me, and there was quite a few people. It's amazing who your friends are when you're really, really struggling, come round, but I could just see that in their faces, they didn't give me much chance. So I was wasting away and all the rest of it. But I just kept thinking about my Royal Marine training, I kept thinking about the family. I had Al Blackman on my mind. I just couldn't get that off my mind either. I mean, I should have been looking after myself, but I just kept thinking about that. And 6 weeks before I knew I was, it passed, and I got really ill the last week of it. I ended up in intensive care and stuff. And they said if they couldn't complete the treatment, then I would probably die. I said, I don't care what you have to do, mate. You just put me through there. And I'd even been sick in my mask and everything, but I just wouldn't let it go. And so Macmillan were fantastic all the way through, supported Jen. And we got through it. I don't know how we did it, but we did. We got through it, and then Al Blackman got to hear about it. He invited me down to see him. I went down to see him actually with Claire and JD, and that was emotional. But I felt I had to keep battling for him, and for everybody else that was supporting us, because I was like, there was just loads of us involved in it, Davey and Tez and everybody, but and Brommers, of course, as well. But I was the one that was doing a lot of the gobbing off with Davey, so we had to be careful. And I say the last couple of days of the court case at Al Blackman, I was really poorly. I shouldn't have been there really, but I was determined to go. Jen reluctantly let me go, and not a lot of people knew how poorly I was. But so I cracked it, and then there was a recovery, which was long and hard. But again, they were saying I shouldn't be walking. I was getting my ass off the bed and going and doing the business. It was tough, but we did it, and that's the most positive thing. And I think looking back on it now, definitely, as Dave used to always say, so positive mental attitude, yeah. Well, I had a positive mental attitude. I mean, I used to go in there and joke with the nurses and stuff, and they used to say, you're unbelievable. This is really, really tough on you, and you're laughing and giggling about it. I remember going in there one day for radiotherapy and feeling particularly strong, and said, like, can I have 2 today? And they're like, just don't get it. But one of the ladies was an RAF lady, veteran, and she befriended me. She was really, really, every time she saw us, we used to bring cakes in for the staff and all this type of stuff. And the doctor who actually dragged me through the whole thing was a doctor called Dr. Good. And I used to call him, we renamed him afterwards. We took one of his O's away and he became Dr. God, because what he achieved was just amazing. I didn't think I was going to get through it, if I'm honest with you, near the end. I was always positive. I try and see past things, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to do this, but it's a bloody long road. And I think what upset me more than anything else was the people that was in intensive care. This is where the survivor guilt comes in as well. They all died. And that was hard to bear, seeing them go one at a time in such a short period of time. And even the para that I befriended, he went and I didn't even know. That was upsetting because I'd got out. I remember having this picture with him on the end of his bed, winding him up. He had his para stuff and I had my Marine 90 on, I think. And his wife often contacts me and says, thanks for keeping his memory alive because it's important. But we did it. And I'm proud of that. Proud of Jen. She was just amazing. I mean, all my medication I was on, it was all lined up, all taken exactly at the right time. And we managed to carry on the Old Black Man campaign and see that through as well. So, people tell me about facing adversity head on. Another core promotes that massively. And I did that. And I know it works. And that's why I say to people, I've been unlucky. I had that. I never smoked a cigarette in my life. They reckon it was down to bloody drinking copious amounts of whiskey and stuff in the car. I don't know what it was, but it was life-threatening. And like I say, it could have been the end, but it wasn't. It wasn't my time. I had a lot of people praying for me. John Wastley, the Padre, was amazingly tower of strength. And that's another thing. I woke up. I was almost in a coma at one stage, and I had a spiritual moment where I've always been a God-fearing person, if I'm honest with you. A lot of people scorn that these days, but I have always had I think it was brought up, with Sunday school, like kids and stuff like that. And it's always been in me. And I was lying there and I thought, I've got to be really careful here. If I go to sleep, I ain't going to wake up. And I remember looking up and I must have been asleep or dreaming or whatever it was. And then I see this bloke, I felt there was somebody there. So I opened my eyes and there was this bloke looking over me. I thought he was going to kiss me, actually. And I looked up and I said, am I dead? And he said, no, he said, you're very much alive. He said, I'm the Padre. And he was the Padre from the second floor of the QE, who had been involved with a lot of guys coming back from Afghanistan and stuff. And he said, I believe you're a veteran. I said, yeah, I am. He said, I want to pray for you, do you mind? And I said, no, not at all. And he stuck his hand on my head. And he started praying. And I just felt unbelievable comfort from that. And he left me a Bible. He said, look, if you need me, just give me a call. And from that moment on, I started to recover. Now, you believe what you believe, but that's what happened. And I thought, I don't even know who the guy is, but, he saved me. I've got to be honest with you. And allowed me to do the things I'm doing today. And with the PTSD as well, obviously that doesn't help, but you can keep going. Living proof that you can survive cancer. So I'm a survivor cancer with a big tick at the moment. Always live in fear that it's going to come back. But if it does, then we'll deal with that. And the family unit was fantastic. Very, very strong, very, very supportive to the whole thing. But again, it bothered me because I've always been I've always felt like I'm the leader of the family as such. If it's a hierarchy, there's my mum above me, obviously. But I've always tried to be the tower of strength and the voice of reason, and there was me needy. But I got through it, and that's all I keep saying to myself. How did you do it? I did it because I wanted to do it. And I know a lot of people, they don't get that choice. It takes them. And it's hard to accept that. But you have to. There's a reason why you survived. And I believe that's why I'm so passionate about the PTSD. I think that was the reason. Save as many people as humanly possible, and get the positive attitude out there. You know, the strength, the support network, the brotherhood. You know, I'll get criticised left, right, centre about my beliefs about the brotherhood, because there are bad people in the military. We know that, and there's people that are bad in the veterans community. But there's a bloody awful lot of good people as well, and they deserve our support. So that's why I keep going against medical health, by the way. But anyone that's struggling, you know, don't be fearful of it. You've got to tackle it. You've got to say, you know, you've got to put your body in the right state. I mean, as soon as I knew I had it, I started training. I'm disabled, but I started doing training that was just, even it was just crawling here, there, crawling everywhere. And here we are. Not quite with it. Sometimes mentally, you know, you don't get away with 6 weeks of chemotherapy in your brain and in your throat and all around your head. You know, it does have residual effects. However, I live with them, and I managed to do what I do today. So I'm not saying it for any, you know, accolade. I don't want any bloody accolade. I find that distasteful. It's for the people that are struggling and they get hit with these things and they think, God, I'm just not going to get through it. But you can. I mean, I've been let down with work, if that's honest. You know, if I'm being honest about it. People I thought would help me and support me didn't, bailed out on me. And the previous company let me down badly. As soon as they knew I'd got PTSD, they sacked me immediately. Released me, I should say. You know, stuff like that. It's not good. But do you know what? I don't hold any malice about it. I'm lucky to be here. Every day is a miracle. So there we are. That's a little story for you. Hopefully, you know, it's inspired somebody to carry on when times are troubled. You got a lot more strength than you realise. You know, inside you there's this thing, and I believe, as I did in the Falklands and all the other conflicts I was involved in, if a bullet's got your name on it, it's index anyway. But I think you can dodge the bullet as well if you want to. That's it then. Jeff Williams, Veterans United Against Suicide. Sorry it took so long. Like I say, it's just, hopefully it'll help somebody out there. Look after yourself, troops, all right? Bye. Bye-bye.